And to just kind of continue from our part 2 of our last lesson, we're going to continue along our way here. And here in this lesson, what we're going to do is start a new project and link in the architectural model. And we're not going to go really far with this lesson, but generally when we're working in structural projects, we link in the architectural model and then we use copy monitor to grab the levels and the grid lines from that architectural model, and then we turn them off in the architectural link, and then we start to model our structural stuff with the linked in architectural kind of envelope around. So let's just kind of do that in this next lesson or so. We're going to just close off this project. You can't save this file anyway because it's a sample file and it's read only from our last couple lessons. So I'm just going to hit close. Do I want to save? If you try to save, you'll have to save it to a different location. But the home folder, the sample folder, is read only. So I'm just going to hit no on here anyway. So I don't really want to save anything. So what I'm going to do is start a new project, and I'm going to actually link in an architectural model. So what I'm going to do is these template files are set up from our options. Once again, we've mentioned that in many videos. Under options, under file locations, we have some folders, and we have our template files that are listed here, listed right here. So this is the one we're going to start with. So I'm just going to hit my architectural template. Starts up a new Revit 2014 project using the architectural template. In fact, I don't want the architectural template. I want the structural template. Let's close this off. Start again. Structural template. I want to link in the architectural model. So this starts up a new project using that default structural template, which means it's going to have some structural families and stuff ready to go here. So kind of set up and customized for structure, although you can really use any template when it comes right down to it. But this is tailored for structure. Now the first thing I'm going to do is insert my architectural model. So I'm jumping a little bit ahead to more advanced stuff. We're definitely going to talk about the individual columns and floors and all the different structural tools. But people who want to jump ahead or are in a business environment, the first thing you're going to have to do is load in that architectural model. So we're going to say insert, we're going to say link a Revit file, and then we're going to go to that same sample folder, which you can see is here, C Program Files, Autodesk 2014 Samples, architectural link. And what we're going to do, it's important where we do the positioning. We're going to have some lessons on shared coordinates coming up, etc. But for the most part, we'll say auto origin to origin, which means line up the 0, 0 in this project with the 0, 0 in this project over here. So I say OK, bring in that architectural link. That's the file, and it comes. We can zoom out with our wheel button. Now when you select stuff, it's to the right is window box, to the left is crossing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a window box like this. And I'm going to use my shift and arrow key, and I'm going to move that elevation bubble back and then over here. Okay, watch. There's another one in here somewhere. I'm going to do a window box like this. Because this is one big link, I don't grab it using my shift key and my arrow key on my keyboard. I'm moving that over. Window box, shift on the keyboard, arrow key. Okay, if you don't use the shift, it's little nudges. If you use the shift, it's big nudges. Again, window box, nudge that guy over. Okay, so we just want to get our elevations in position. First thing in. Okay, if we go to a 3D view now, we look, we're going to see the we're going to see some of the architectural model, but most of it is, it looks like kind of turned off. So let's just kind of zoom in here a little bit. It is showing some stuff. It's showing some columns, showing some lights, showing kind of a floor edge. Okay, just going to hit modify, click out. And if I do a crossing box, now interesting, I'm not actually seeing anything if I am not being able to select anything. Select pinned elements. No. Aha. Some of the new settings down in here. Select links. If the select links is turned off, you can't select the link. So I had to make sure that this is new in 2014, select links. You can make it so that you just can't select the link. So do that. There's our link. Okay, and that is the architectural model. Now this view is set up to display that in a certain way. Let's change our discipline here to be coordination. Okay, coordination is going to show us a little bit more. I'm going to change this to say hidden line. Okay, and there is the architectural linked model more with a little friendlier view. I can also switch this over to say shaded mode. Shows it kind of shaded. Okay, so that's that architectural model without the roof because it's part of the structure. And what I had to do first of all is I had to make sure this was not turned on. Right now I can't even pick on this. Now I can actually pick on it. Okay, so I don't actually have to select it to do anything. But what I did was, in this particular view, the discipline of the view will make things look different, even though they are in a link or not in a link. Now, I don't have anything actually in this project. If I pick this architectural link and I go up to the top where the light bulb is, and I say, okay, hide this element, this object, I don't really have anything in this project. The only thing is that link. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick undo. Brings that back.